Long skip, Bizjack. Out, Ajayi, extra feed, another one. Robinson, got it. How about that ball movement for the Bulldogs? Dallas needs a point to stay in it. Collier gets it. Going to the hot hand when they need it most. Start and stop at first base for the Grandes. It's fly down the line and left, and a diving attempt for Rice. He can't get there. LeGrande has great wheels, wave around at the third base bag. Relay to the plate. Capisi's tag, not there in time. Saunders. Alessio! And the subs combine for the go-ahead goal for the Huskies. End-line, Bowers. Up top, Kyle lets it rip. Unstoppable in the first half for Caroline Kyle. Deep into the shot clock here, only 5 left. Hart has to create, and he rolls it in. Carlos Hart has had a big second half. There's Mateo Ponce Ocampo with options. Baker's one of them. Carney a save. Zenge the second ball. Carney another one. Back row, Davis, what can't she do? She's everywhere for the Cougars. Perry runs into traffic and she turns it over. Here comes Miami. Scalia to tie. Jay's got it. Miami has come back. Joe's bunt, it's down, safety squeeze, Maugers glove flip. They got him at the plate. What a play by Maugers off the mound. As Feast Week rolls on, we bring you to Cincinnati, Ohio tonight. Eastern Michigan is in town, trying to bounce back from a loss on Monday as they take on the Cincinnati Bearcats, trying for back-to-back wins. Welcome courtside in Fifth Third Arena. So glad you're with us tonight. Alongside Terry Nelson, I'm Anthony Mazzini. You asked both of these coaches about the matchup. They kind of give you two totally different answers, Terry. Stan Heath for Eastern Michigan, he said comparing the Eagles to a Cincinnati is like comparing a hamburger to a filet mignon. You asked Wes Miller about this matchup. He said the Eagles are one of the best, most physical, most Power 5 ready non-conference teams they're going to face. The truth's probably somewhere in the middle. As we welcome you courtside in Fifth Third Arena, glad you're with us. With Stephanie Niemer and Melissa Lucky, I'm Anthony Mazzini. We'll check in with Chase Yonts in a little while. Guys, postseason implications in this match tonight, but different reasons for each team. For Colorado, they hope a couple of wins gets them a hosting seed. For Cincinnati, they hope a couple of wins gets them into the tournament in general. Robinson filling in at that point guard duty for Jalen Jackson, who has not played since November 23rd. He is out for the year with an ankle injury. He has announced his intentions to return to Butler next season. Down low for Drayton Jones, the unsung hero of this Butler team, not talked about enough. He gets the roll inside. He's done a fantastic job all year at impacting the game without scoring. He can score with his back to the basket, but he does a tremendous job running the floor. He rebounds the ball at a high level. He's a great screen setter. He does a lot of things to help his Butler team win. Transfer from South Carolina State. Bolden, too strong off the glass. There's Ajayi's first rebound of the game. Robinson cannot hold on to it in transition. Now Thad Matta, the head coach of Butler, his 4th season with the Bulldogs. He's approaching 500 career wins. We asked him what his plans were for the holiday, and he said going down to Florida and prepare for Big East play on the beach. Bizjack is stealing the backcourt, and he finishes with a flush. Butler defense doesn't force a ton of steals, only about 7 a game. Force only 11 turnovers a game. It's towards the bottom of the Big East, but Bizjack takes advantage of one there. Fulton trying to back his way down, but Ajayi blocks it.
I think one of the most impressive things Ajayi can do is when he gets a rebound or blocks a shot like that, he can initiate their transition break, which really goes a long way with them being able to play with pace and get out ahead.
Too strong off the glass there for Jones. In stride, Bolden leaves it short. NJIT, no points through the first 2.5 minutes. Bizjack lines up the 3, and NJIT needs a timeout.
He is one of the guys you don't want to leave open.
He's been scuffling lately. Only 5 made threes out of the last 29 attempts entering today. So an encouraging sign, Joey, to see him get off to a good start.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of a miscommunication here on the ball screen in the transition drag, and he tees one up. Yeah, I think Awad got kind of tied up there on that screen and gave Bizjack enough space to get that one off.
Third in the Big East in three-point shooting, 36%. He will be a nightmare today if he stays that wide open. Grant Billmeyer, his third season at NJIT. He has some Big East ties, Joe. You two were joking around before the game. He was the main man in charge of scouting you during his days at Seton Hall under Kevin Willard.
Yeah, we laughed a little bit about that game. I had spent some time with another one of his former coaches at Ohio State that we had laughed about. One of the games I played well, but they got the last laugh and they won that night, so it didn't really matter too much about my performance.
He did throw you a little jab at one point. He said, "I think we left you single covered. They didn't double you."
Yeah, no, he made the point that they remained in single coverage all night long.
Down 9-0 early. Starting the game 0-4 from the field. Robinson has it knocked away. Stays at this end. Only 6 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Traore coming in for the Bulldogs along with Oliogu Elabor. Layville to trigger it in. Have to go quickly here. Limited shot clock. Layville's a shooter. He throws that one towards the rim and it misses everything. A cold start for the Highlanders continues.
I think we've seen a little bit of the point of emphasis that Coach Mata was talking about cleaning up their pick and roll defense and getting better on the defensive side. And this is a great game to play some more guys and get that experience before the conference play rolls in.
He talked about some of the offensive fluidness, but he also mentioned defensive intensity wanting to pick back up. A foul away from the basketball. Goes on Zach Scherler, his first. Close out there from Sebastian Robinson. Jai gives it up. Reposition for Ajayi. Double team comes. Oliogu Elabor swings it. Bizjack sidestep. Off the mark from three. And it's out of bounds. Knocked away by Fulton. Stays with the Bulldogs. And what a cool story it is, Billy. Michael Murphy, the pitcher for Xavier today, the junior that's battled injury over the course of his career. He's from right here in Mason, Ohio. He's played some of his high school and summer collegiate ball here, and he gets a chance to pitch on this mound again in an elimination game for the Musketeers.
You know, that is so good. Some of his teammates that he grew up with, maybe they'll come to the game, give him a little bit of juice to, help Xavier to a victory this evening.
He told us that he was expecting about 15 friends and family coming to these games this weekend. He deals ball one to Rocco Gump. He's been an excellent leadoff hitter. You talked about it just a couple of minutes ago at the start of the broadcast, Billy. He has been a threat at the top of this lineup, showing some power. He's played the small ball game with the bunts. He's run the bases well. He's been a nice player for the Blue Jays.
He's just very solid, offensively and defensively. I mean, he just does the things that he has to do to help his team win.
Down in the count 1-2. He is 4 of 9, 2 triples. He's driven in 3. And he's reached base in 21 consecutive games. And it's in the dirt for Murphy. 2-2. Now from Michael Murphy, you can expect a sinker, a four-seamer, a cutter, a slurve, a change, and a curveball. The kitchen sink for this right-hander. Gump flares it, shallow center. Shortstop Canterbury out. He can't get there. Falls in between him and Valdez for a base hit, and another knock for Rocco Gump.
Anthony, I know I'm repetitive when I say this, but every chance you give yourself a chance to make contact with the ball, you have a chance. When you're striking out, you have no chance. That ball was in on him a little bit, flares it right up in the center field, lead off, helping his team with the hit.
5th hit of this tournament for Rocco Gump. That sets up Nate McHugh with a man at first base, nobody out to start the ball game. Q is 2 of 8, but the 2 hits have been big ones. A couple of RBI hits in the last game against UConn to knock out the Huskies. 3 runs batted in total. Guy that vaulted up in the Big East this year, earned all-conference first team. Back to the mound, Murphy fields it near the first base line and flips to Townsend. 1 away, runner moves up to second.
You know, you look and you see he got jammed on that ball right there. But that was a very good at bat because you advance your runner. It's just like laying a bunt down, putting him in scoring position. You got him in scoring position in the first inning. That's a good start for Creighton.
That sets up Ben North. Arguably their best all-around player, but he has had a tough tournament so far. He's just 1 of 9. He struck out a handful of times, and that lone hit was the dribbler down the third base line that barely stayed fair. It hit off the bag. It did bring in a run, but he has not really made his mark yet in this Big East tournament. Out in front of that, good pitch, and that's the pitch for Murphy, Billy, that he credits with really turning his season around. He found something with that slider in this back half of the year.
Well, that was a very good pitch right there, but he better start making sure he gets that ball down, because he throws another one that lays flat like that, it's going to get hit hard.
That's a good one there again. Better location and a good result. He strikes out North.
That was an outstanding pitch down in the zone, started on the plate, break it off. Very good pitch.
Murphy mentioned a lot about the Georgia Tech series for Xavier and how it's been a turning point for them. That Georgia Tech game, he went 6 1/3 innings and struck out a career-high 6 batters in that win against the Yellow Jackets. And he said that that slider is the pitch that he learned how to throw more. It was his longest outing of his career. And that slider is really a big reason why it helped him get to that point against the Yellow Jackets.
Well, you know, sometimes your pitching coach, even your teammates can tell you, you know, this is a good pitch. This is a good pitch. You should throw this. But until you have success with it, until you see it for yourself, you really don't believe. He saw it against a Georgia Tech team that's probably the best hitting team in the country. He had a lot of success with it, so he's staying with it.
And then it helped set up that fastball against Isaac Walksman. First time in this tournament that Walksman is playing against his former team. He was with the Musketeers last year. He made it very clear he has no ill will against the Musketeers, just needed a change of scenery. And he strikes out in his first at-bat. Murphy back to that slider again. Case Walksman. He sets the tone for Xavier in the first inning.
That's very impressive right there.